Hi, and welcome to the Caterpillar Cross Stitch YouTube channel. My name's Ford from Son of a Stitch, and this week I'm going to be sharing with you my fairly novel method of organizing my extensive cross-stitch floss collection. Well, here at Caterpillar Cross Stitch we are all about cross stitch, and we upload helpful videos about it every single week, so make sure you subscribe to the channel. You can hit that little bell icon so that you'll get a notification when we have a new video. And if you like this video in particular, give it one of those little thumbs up likes and leave me a comment down below so I know I should make more videos like it. We're also celebrating this week because we've hit 50,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So those of you who are already subscribers, thank you so much for joining us, and we're really happy you're here. Now, when it comes to organizing your floss, there are basically two schools of thought. The first is to organize it chromatically. Put them in order according to similar colors and put similar colors together. And the other is to organize it numerically, to put them in numerical order based on the numbers that DMC gives them. Both have their pros and cons, which I'll talk about, and then I'll show you the method that I finally hit upon. But before I really go into that, I want to remind you to join the Caterpillar Cross Stitch VIP Stitch Club. When you join, you'll get 10% off your first order. You'll get a digital download with 8 free PDF cross-stitch patterns in it, and a download of our top 10 cross-stitching tips. So hit the link down there in the description to make sure that you get all of those great perks. Now, the first method that I'm going to talk about is numerical arrangement. That's how my girlfriend does it in 5 or 6 floss boxes like these, which she's graciously allowed me to use for demonstration purposes today. If we take a look at her boxes, you can see that they're all just arranged here in numerical order, starting with the single-digit numbers that they released in 2016, ending in, with this pair of boxes here, 781. So if I'm looking for a specific color, say the pattern calls for 552, it's very easy to locate that particular color. It's right there. So as far as being able to find a specific color of floss, this really is convenient. But if you aren't necessarily looking for a specific number, but are looking for a kind of color, it can make it really difficult if you don't know all of the hue families that are there. When DMC assigned numbers to their colors, they didn't really plan ahead. So you have these 35 colors over here, 1 through 35, that don't really make any sense, because you've got greens and yellows and browns and purples, and so then they added other colors here and there, so they're just kind of all over the place when you arrange them numerically. It's very easy to find them, but it's not quite as aesthetically pleasing. And let's be honest, part of the reason that I have a large, extensive collection of embroidery floss is because it's pretty to look at. So it's an aesthetic choice as well. So this doesn't really quite, for me, satisfy that itch of an aesthetically pleasing arrangement system, even though it is very intellectually pleasing and I enjoy being able to find a specific color. But if I was hunting for not purple 552, but just a purple hue and not sure which one I wanted, I'd need to remember, there's some purples over in the 210s, there's some purples over in the 550s, the 30s are purples as well. So unless you know all of those extremely well, it's a little difficult to compare and contrast when searching for a particular color instead of for a particular number, if that makes sense. So the other method that you can use to arrange your floss is to arrange them chromatically. That is to put all of the yellows together in ascending or descending order of tone, lighter to darker, darker to lighter. Or to put all of the purples together in ascending or descending order, for instance. And that is very aesthetically pleasing and makes it easy to find a color match as opposed to a specific color. But this can create a real problem, especially when it comes to putting the colors back. So say I've arranged them that way, and I've been using, let's see, and I've been using, say, the last one that's in the box here, 781. Now, is 781 brown? Is it yellow? Is it orange? I would have to remember what color group I decided that was in before, and I might not always make the same decision, because that will change a lot depending on the lighting of the room that I'm in, or what color palette I was using it in, what color I might think 781 is. So it can make it a real conundrum if you've arranged them chromatically to remember where to put the colors back. And so that if you are looking for a specific color, then that makes it really difficult. So what I really needed was a combination of the two organization methods. I wanted to be able to arrange them chromatically so that they were aesthetically pleasing and so that I could do color matches and color comparisons very easily, but also needed to be able to find a specific color very easily. So I eventually was given a gift that solved this conundrum for me and changed my life as far as the organization of my floss goes. It's this right here. It's the DMC Floss Sample Card. Let me show it to you. This floss sample card actually has physical samples of all of the normal colors of DMC floss, all 589 of them. It does also have a few of the specialty colors. You can see we've got some of our colorus and color variations. We've got a lot of the light effects colors here. So one, this makes all of the color comparisons a lot easier because I have all of these swatches in one place. But it does another thing as well, which is it gives me an absolute frame of reference when it comes to where I put my colors. So these are all numbered in columns here. And what I did is I took my floss box, and I've got all of my floss in two large boxes like this one. And I numbered the columns in my floss box to match the columns in the card. So now I have the same colors in column 1 on my floss card as I have in column 1 of my floss box. And I've got these little foam spacers here that I've cut out to keep things from falling over when I'm not using them. And I left a column in each side of my double-sided floss boxes with nothing in it. This is really convenient when I pick up skeins that I'm not ready to bobbinate and put away or whatever yet. I can store those things temporarily there. But now I know exactly where a given color is because my floss card has this key at the back. So say I can't remember whether I decided 781 was a yellow or a brown, I can take a look here and I can see 781, which is a deprecated color, they don't make it anymore, is in column number 14. So I don't have to go hunting around for it and try to remember what I did before. I just need to go straight to that particular column in my floss storage, which is super handy. Another nice thing about this is that when I get a new color or when they release a new color, I don't have to shuffle all of the colors down from one space to the other. This is something that my girlfriend had happen recently. She bought a new color and there wasn't space, so she had to move one to the next column and then she had to move one all the way down all 5 of her floss boxes. It took her 15 minutes to put away one new color. Mine, I have spaces at the end of each of these columns so that when I get, say, a second skein of something, like I have 2 sets of 817 here, there's room already in my floss box for that, which is really convenient. And then I took one additional step as far as my organization, and on each of the bobbins, I've actually written what its appropriate position is. So if you take a close look here, you can see that on 3835, I've written 4 and 17. So I know that 3835 goes in column 4 in the 17th position. So after I'm unkitting a finished project and putting away all of those colors, I know exactly where everything goes because it says so right on the floss bobbin. So that system allows me to balance the aesthetics and the practicality of storing my floss. Now, I came up with the system of organizing my floss on myself, but I owe credit to a person in one of the online stitching communities I'm in for telling me about this product because it made a huge difference in my life as a stitcher and as a designer. And so I can't possibly overstate the value of being in some online cross-stitching communities. A really good example of that is the Caterpillar cross-stitch community. The Facebook group and the Instagram, there are tens of thousands of stitchers with years and years of experience, each for hundreds of thousands of years of experience in the group. So I strongly recommend joining both of those because you can learn a lot of things even when you're not necessarily looking to, but it's also a supportive environment where we share knowledge and we support one another, we give one another ideas. Just highly, highly recommend checking both of those out. So that's the way that I organize my floss that allows me to balance the aesthetics of my beautiful floss collection with the practicality of being able to find not only a particular floss, but being able to make comparisons and look for different colors in a similar family. Is there something different that you do, something that I didn't talk about? Leave it in the comments down below for the benefit of other stitchers. Other than that, I do want to thank you so much for watching. My name is Ford from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next week.
Hi, have you heard about Love It Stitch It yet? You can design and shop the cross stitch patterns you've always wanted. Love It Stitch It is an easy to use design tool and exclusive cross stitch marketplace, giving you the freedom to create, sell and shop all in one place. You can design anything that you like, add text, upload and convert pictures and artwork. You can design the cross stitch patterns of your dream. You can download them for personal use, or you can upload them onto the marketplace, designed by cross stitchers for cross stitchers, jam-packed with some gorgeous cross stitch patterns from designers all over the world. If you're not interested in designing or selling, that's totally fine too. Just visit the marketplace and you can shop from hundreds of beautiful cross stitch patterns so you can pick your next project. Are you already a cross stitch designer, but maybe you're fed up of other marketplaces, maybe not getting the sales that you deserve, maybe not getting your patterns seen as much as you'd like? Then let us help. You can easily register for free and get uploading your PDF patterns with absolutely no fees whatsoever. Let us then market your gorgeous designs that you've put all of your work into to over 185,000 dedicated cross stitchers from all over the world. We will absolutely do our best to get your patterns seen and into the right hands of people that we know will absolutely love stitching them. As a designer, you can easily list your PDF patterns for sale, no matter which software you use to design them. Our job is to make cross-stitch design accessible to all. There's nothing to upgrade, there's nothing to download. It's really easy to use and beginner friendly. We also wanted to create the marketplace to bring sellers and buyers together so that it's really easy and such an enjoyable experience to shop all of the high quality verified designs on the platform, but also to give those amazing designers a place to really showcase their creativity. So visit loveitstitchit.com today and register for free. Stitch what you love and free your creativity.